Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Man, I know it's been a while since I dropped a video. It's been a busy week, you know, holidays. So hopefully everyone had a good holiday season to whatever you celebrate, whether it's Kwanzaa, Christmas, or even Hanukkah. Hope you had a good time with your family. But now we back to boxing. So it's Thursday, and it hasn't quite reached a week yet since the whole Jermell Charlo Tony Harrison fight. I know I'm going to drop a few videos about this topic, more so because 154 is my favorite division. But the thing I want to talk about is what's next. What's next for Hurd? What's next for Harrison? What's next for Charlo? And then there's one more person that needs to be included into this equation, and that's what's next for Erislandy Lara. Now, me personally, I feel like it's a this sun in the background. Me personally, I feel like Lara and Charlo need to fight each other. They definitely need to fight. I say that because you know, Charlo fought Austin Trout. He didn't stop him. He got a decision. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a unanimous decision. This is all top of the dome right now. We all know what happened in the Tony Harrison fight, you know, less than a week ago. And now I say it only makes sense to fight Lara. Now, I've said it in the comment section before. I've said it in previous videos. And my whole thing is, I feel like Jermell Charlo, he could be a lot further along in his career. Obviously, not including the fact that he lost to Tony Harrison. I'm not talking about that. But that morning of the Tony Harrison fight, I felt like Jermell Charlo could have been further along in his career if he decided to take more risks. And I say that because if you go back to and look at these guys' records and see when they fought, the night Jermell Charlo became the WBC champion, him and Erislandy Lara, they both fought on the same card. With that being said, it's like, well, he fought Charles Hatley, I think like 11 months or 10 months or 11 months later. It was well above it was well above 6 months in between those fights. So he definitely could have had a unification bout with Lara. Now, some people are like, well, you know how the Charlo brothers have a relationship with Lara. I don't care about that. Deontay Wilder said he would fight his own brother. So all of this other we in the same camp bullshit, to me, that's not an excuse. My whole thing with that is if you're gonna fight in that division, like, no one should be off the table. With that being said, Jermell Charlo could have fought Lara, and he could have unified. Now, if he would have won that fight, he would have been the WBC, WBA champion, and Jarrett Hurd would not have had he wouldn't have had an opportunity to go a different route, because at that point, the IBF belt was vacant. Jarrett Hurd captured that belt a few months after Charlo got his WBC belt. So if Charlo jumped right on the opportunity to unify with Lara, which he had an opportunity to do before Jarrett Hurd did, he would have been in a position, if he would have got the win, he would have been in a position to be the man. Like, he was calling himself the man, saying he was the top guy. But when Lara still had his belt, when there was no unified champion at 154, no one was the man. If we're going to go off of resume longevity, the only person I would say was the man was Lara. Now, he didn't unify. That time has come and gone. Hurd, he decided to take advantage of that opportunity. He beat Lara. He got the knockdown in the last round. All of that good shit. Great. Now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, Jermell, you lost to Harrison. what can you do to get back? Because now everyone keeps talking about, people, myself included, and a lot of other boxing fans, we want the best fighting the best. We want unification. We want undisputed. Everyone says, and it's the standard in boxing, you are not the best in your weight class if another guy has a belt. With that logic alone that's applied to the heavyweights, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua situation, that same logic applied to with the welterweights, where you want the Sean Porters and you want the Keith Thurmans and the Terrence Crawfords to fight Errol Spence, when it's the same, like, we have the standard in boxing. So that should be the same standard with the 154-pound division. That being said, Jarrett Hurd and Tony Harrison, they need to fight. They need to unify those belts and then find some type of way to get Jaime Munguia in the ring. In the meantime, Jermell Charlo, he needs to fight Erislandy Lara. For the simple fact, Lara is, in my opinion, the best 154-pounder without a title. He's the best. Honestly, I feel like he's better than some of the guys with the title. I believe Lara could beat a Tony Harrison and a Jaime Munguia. But right now, I feel like he's the best one without a title. And that's the guy that Jermell Charlo needs to fight. He needs to stop Lara. And he needs to stop Lara in dramatic. No, he just needs to stop Lara. He can even beat him. It can be a split decision. He needs to get a victory over Lara. Will put him definitely back in a position where he's the mandatory for Tony Harrison and Jarrett Hurd. Him just calling out Hurd still, it serves no purpose. Now, some people will say, you know, Hurd is in a bad place. I mean, Hurd is in the same position that he was in prior to that Tony Harrison-Hurd fight. He wants to unify 154, and he wants to move up to middleweight. Jarrett Hurd's not planning on ending his career at 154. So he got plenty of time left. My whole thing when it comes to Jermell Charlo, his goal right now should be to put himself in a position. Coming off of a loss, demanding a rematch. If Tony Harrison gives him a rematch, great. But if he decides to go fight Jarrett Hurd in a rematch, can you really blame Harrison? I mean, he'll be having an opportunity at the WBA and the IBF belt. Some people even recognize the IBO. I don't, but just throw that in there as well. He'll be having an opportunity to unify. Now, my whole thing when it comes to Charlo is you can't take issue with somebody wanting to unify when you had an opportunity before all of these younger guys. So that's not including Lara. You had an opportunity before you lost. You had an opportunity before Hurd to unify with Lara, and you didn't take advantage of it. For whatever reason, it is, you know, it's the past now. So I say the next fight at 154, the next fight should be Jermell Charlo versus Lara, and on the undercard of Jarrett Hurd versus Tony Harrison. Now, the winner of that unification bout fights the winner of Jermell Charlo versus Erislandy Lara. Now, a lot of people said that Jarrett Hurd should have gave Lara a rematch. I know a lot of people are going to say Tony Harrison should give Charlo a rematch. So why not just do the best thing for boxing, unify those three titles, and the winner of Lara Charlo, however you want to put it, the winner of that fight gets the WBC, WBA, IBF, and even IBO title shot. Doesn't that make the most sense? I mean, if unification is the goal and undisputed is the goal, seems like that makes most sense, right? That's what I think. And then after that, they need to look to try to see if someone can get Jaime Munguia on the hook. I mean, I feel like the Julian Williams of the division, who else can I pull out? Even Austin Trout. Shit, I feel like if anybody could slide in there and get an opportunity to fight Jaime Munguia, I feel like it's Austin Trout. Austin Trout needs to, you know, have a fight scheduled with a guy in the WBO, the top three. One of the top three guys. I don't know the rankings right now. You know, the WBO rankings, they're always funny. But that's just my take on it, man. 154 is my favorite division. It is the division where the top guys are actually fighting each other. We are not getting all of the fights, but we're getting some. We are getting unifications. And to all the people out there that feel that Jermell Charlo was robbed, man, I watched that. I like the Charlos. I like Charlos. I like Spence. I like all these guys at 154. I just want the best man to win. Simple as that. Yes, Jared Hurd is my hometown guy, but I just want the best win. Shit, speaking of hometown, shit, I can see the damn Redskins Stadium from here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Where is it? At a distance. I probably can't see that shit, but it's in the distance. I can see the Redskins Stadium from where I am. I'm at the gym right now. Probably go get my workout on. But I have no agenda. I want the best to fight the best, and then I want them to move up to middleweight and go for it again. I don't care who it is. It can be Jermell Charlo, it can be Hurd, it can be Tony Harrison, it can be Lara, it can be Jermell Charlo. Errol Spence can move up, go all the way to middleweight. I don't care. I want one of these guys to knock off Canelo. That's what I want. That's basically how I feel about it all. So, with all of that being said, man, I'm just like, I wish the best. And I wish the best for all of these guys, and I want the best man to come out. I don't want any robberies. I don't want any gift decisions, anything like that. I feel like Tony Harrison outperformed Jermell Charlo. He made him miss. He outboxed him. He had a consistent jab, and he did what he had to do to win. But, guys, I will come back with another one. I'm about to get this workout in. It's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.